Hello, everybody. Hi, my Facebook family and friends. I just wanted to hop on and say hello to everyone. Greetings from the hospital. I am in the hospital for those that did not know. I had total knee replacement surgery on Friday. I had it on my right knee, and so I have a new knee. um, so it's just 2 days post-op right now, and I just wanted to take a quick moment before I fall back to sleep because, of course, I have a lot of medicine in my system right now because the pain is no joke, but I'm making it. Thank God. Thank God for bringing me through the surgery. Just fine, no complications, no issues. They just did what needed to be done, and I'm in this stabilizer brace right now. But true to their word that they told me in pre-op that they would have me up. Well, that night, Friday night, wasn't able to do much because I was still heavily sedated, and my anesthesia had worn off, and they given me that and two different blocks, and both of my knees, even the one that they did not operate on this time. Um, so yeah, I was pretty hopped up. So for safety, they didn't make me get up that night. But um, yesterday, um, they only got me up to help me. The PT came and helped me get from my bed to my chair, which is where I am right now in my recliner. Y'all know I'm a germaphobe, so I got sheets and extra blankets all over the chair and stuff. Cause I don't do, I don't. Me and germs are not friends. So those of you that know me know that it was a real challenge knowing that I could not wipe down my own room with the disinfectant. But anyway, I'm making it. I'm trying not to think about it too much. But anyhow, yeah, I'm doing okay. So like I said, some intermittent pain, but I'm, doing good as far as staying, ahead of it as best I can. But the parts when it really hurts is when I can tell when it's close to the time that I need to take my next dosage, and when I have to get up. So today, um, we walked from my bed to right outside the door, really, and then she let me turn around and come walking back. So that was it for today. But I know, as time goes on, because they warned me that day 2 and 3 after are usually like when the anesthesia starts to wear off, and that is the most painful of the days to come. So yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit of that. It's not too bad. I normally have a high tolerance for pain, anyway. Um, but yeah, that's just a little different. A little different. Um, I put it up there with how it felt to have an emergency C-section, and how afterwards I felt like I had been sawn in half. Um, yeah, say that right? Sawed in half. Yeah, she got 2 degrees, but she said sawn in half. But anyway, I blame it on the medicine. So T Pain said blame it on the alcohol. I'm blaming it on my medication. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm doing, and prayerfully tomorrow, if not the next day, hopefully it'll be tomorrow, they will transfer me to a rehab facility where I can finish convalescing and getting my in-house rehab at the rehab center, in the gym, and getting my strength back, getting my mobility back. I can't wait. um yeah, I won't, I won't give you all the sordid details. But yeah, this has been a lot. Um, but I'm making it. I'm making it through, and just grateful for my family, my friends, of course, my church family. It's been, getting me through this, helping me to get through this, and I'm also grateful because leading up to the surgery, I would have moments of really being emotional because, as I always say it, when I have to express, these feelings that I'm about to tell you about, the way I express it is, it's times like these that I'm painfully aware that I'm alone. Being a widow, that is, alone, meaning I don't have, my husband here with me or, around, to lean on, to, know that, oh, of course you got somebody, that's there and all that good stuff. But um, I'm grateful to report, and I shared it with my church family this morning. I hopped in Sunday school, and then they politely uh, shut me down as far as attending service today. They told me to get some rest. That was funny. But anyway, yeah, I'm grateful that I haven't been sad. So all of that was before leading up to, the time I knew I had to come on Friday. But thank God I realized yesterday. I said, you know what? And I was by myself. Like, I wouldn't let anyone stay with me. Um, and not for their lack of trying, but I wouldn't let anyone stay with me. I was like, no, I'll be fine. Because I knew that first night I was going to be out of it, which I really was. I couldn't barely stay awake Friday night. And then yesterday, it got a little better, but I still was basically asleep. So I think today, well, last night, I was able to stay up longer. And today, I'm sleepy again because they upped one of my medicines, they upped the dosage. So I've been more sleepy again, but again, because the anesthesia's wearing off, so I'm still able to stay up longer, if that makes sense. Um, but yes, I realized, I said, oh my God, I have not cried, not one tear. And I just knew that I was going to be really, really teary, but I haven't been. So I was like, well, thank God for that. I wasn't teary. I have not been teary. I have not felt alone. So that's such a blessing. And anybody that has lost your spouse, and I don't mean, I've had another spouse, but, you know, um, if you know what I mean, if you've been there and you've lost a spouse that was like the best to you, and everyone that knew about our story knows that, he spoiled me and I spoiled him. And that, there was just nothing was out of reach. Nothing was, you know, um, unattainable. Um, like none of that. Like I felt like and knew that like I would never have to walk through life alone again. Like as long as he was around, like I can go to Egypt, drop me in the middle of a desert with this man, and I'm safe. I'm at home. I'm at peace. I'm covered. I'm protected. I'm secure. Like all of those things. And so when he left, he had to leave. Um, I had a moment, to where it was just like, again, to use my words that I would always use to describe it, um, to help other people understand, especially those that haven't lost a spouse. The love of your life kind of spouse is what I'm talking about here. But yeah, that I was just painfully aware that I was alone in the world again. Like, like how did this happen? Like, why am I alone again? I thought I was never gonna have to be alone again. But it was part of God's will. He had to leave. Um, so here we are. But I'm okay. And that in and of itself is why I'm so grateful to God right now. Because that in and of itself is such a testament um, to what God can do. And how he's really, I know that he's really healed my heart. Not that I don't miss him, because I will forever miss that man. Forever, I will miss him. Even when God blesses me with the right, one um, for the next, leg of my journey. Like, I know he's going to bless me again, but even still, it's not to say that I won't miss him, because I will. I will forever miss him because he was that dude. So yeah, he deserves to be missed for the rest of my life, for real. And probably if I wasn't so young, if I wasn't like 30, 40 years older, I probably wouldn't even care about meeting anybody else. I probably would not, for real, for real. I would be like a Coretta Scott King, for real. Um, but anyway, yeah, I'm just grateful. So I hope that that blesses somebody or encourages somebody, which is why I just felt like led to share that, you know. Um, but yeah, even in your darkest hours, even in times like these when you might feel alone, you're not really alone. God, He really does have you, and He has people in your life that He has placed in your life that helps, during these times of the journey. And not always in a way that you think. It wasn't that it was another man, but just my family, my friends, um, males and females, they're just my friends, my genuine friends, and those that I know care about me and love me, you know, enough to just help me through it. So I'm just so grateful to you. I'm so grateful um, for your help, for your encouragement, for your love from near and far. Thank you for being my friend. I really appreciate you all. Um, and for those that have been praying for me, maybe we're not directly connected, but maybe we're connected through someone else, and you know about me and you cared enough because of your relationship with the other our mutual people, and you cared enough to send prayers and, send words of encouragement and send those virtual hugs. I appreciate that so much. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and just say that once a day. Keep praying for your girl. Um, it's going to be a little journey. I said about 6 to 8 weeks. And I should be right as rain, as they say. Again. Well, not again, but better that I started. Because I have a brand new knee. Hallelujah. So, yeah, I'll be back being mobile even better, even more so. So that part I'm still really excited about. Without all of the pain, y'all have no idea. I have been bone on bone. That means no cartilage in between my knee joints and my patella for it's probably been about 17 years that I have lived with that. And some of you may not have noticed because you're not really around me, but it got worse, and to the point to where I finally consented to see a surgeon. And it was my second time seeing a surgeon in years. And he was like, he looked at, all of my scans and x-rays, and he was like, well, we're not waiting. You need to get this done now. He said, you are too young to end up wheelchair bound. You can't do this. He said, I will not, in good conscience, let you do this. You need to get it done. And I was like, oh my God, I only came for a consultation to think about it. Because I got stuff to do, sir. I just graduated, in my master's. I was like, I got plans, I got things I got to do, I got places to go, and blah blah blah. And he was like, "No, you don't need to wait. We need to get this done, and we need to get it done now, so that you can do all of these things." So that was enough for me. That was enough for me, and it was confirmation because Holy Spirit had said that to me like last year. Like he said one day, I was just meditating, and he was like, some of the things I was praying and talking to him about was some of the places in the world that I wanted to see, and I intend, with this help, I intend to go there. And he was like, there's no elevators, in the desert, and all these, ancient places that I want to be able to travel to and see for myself. He was like, there's no elevators there. You're going to have to climb, girlfriend. You're going to have to climb. You're going to have to do a lot of walking. How you going to do that if you don't take care of yourself? And I was like, dang. I was like, you're right. Oh my God. I need to do that. I need to get myself together. So it was just funny when the way that the surgeon, how he said that, my doctor. And I was like, okay, all right, clearly this is what I'm supposed to do now. I need to get this done. So I just said, yes, I will go ahead and do it. Um, so here we are, post surgery. I did it. Both of them need to be done, but the right one was by far the worst. So not only was I bone on bone, but I also had so many bone spurs that had grown out over the years, which means I had lost a lot of my flexibility and a lot of my ability to extend my knee and also to bend my knee. I lost a lot of that over the years. It just was getting worse and worse. Some days, like if it was really inflamed, like I could barely walk. Um, and that's what he was speaking to when he was like, "You're too young to end up wheelchair bound." He said, "When all we have to do is go in there and do what we need to do." He said, "You're too young to keep letting this go on because I don't want you to lose your mobility. I don't want to lose my mobility." But I like to think I'm one of those people. My mind is strong, thank God, that, I've seen people that had loss of limb or born with no limbs or certain limbs they didn't have, whatever the case is, like extreme circumstances. And those people that have the fortitude and the strength of mind, the strong heart and courage, that they go out there with their artificial leg or no legs or no arms, no hands or whatever, and they like find a way to paint with their feet or paint with their mouth and all these kind of things, drive with no hands. Like, I like to think that that's the kind of person that I am. That's the kind of person I am. Like, I'm not gonna stay down. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna stay down. Been through too much. God has brought me through too much. By no means am I weak. My laughter and my constant smiles may some people foolishly think that I'm weak because of that, but trust and know that I'm not a weak person at all by any means. Um, so I would like to think that I'm one of those people that, God forbid, if that had to be my lot, that I had to lose something, I'm going to compensate in another way. I'm going to find a way to still be mobile. I'm going to find a way to still go where I need to go, where I want to go, do the things that I want to do. I'm still going to live my dreams. Um, so that's my mindset. Like I said, God forbid, I'm not asking for any of that. Um, but my mindset is that, God forbid, if that were to be, God's plan for my life, so be it. I cry my tears, but I sniff them up and do what I gotta do. Find a way. I'm gonna find a way to still do what I need to do and what I want to do with my life. So nothing's gonna deter me from that. So surely this, I remind myself, like going into this, I was like, okay, I know God's got me. And, a friend of mine been calling me Hopalong Cassidy, but that's okay. I'll be Hopalong Cassidy for a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna get my strength back, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. Um, so anyway, that's where I am. Keep praying for me, and I'll be back with another update at some point soon. Yeah. And again, I hope this blesses somebody and helps somebody in whatever plight that you find yourself in, whatever situation or circumstance that you find yourself contending with right now. Know that you're not alone. Know that God's got you. Know that you have friends. You know, it's okay. Sometimes we all have to lean on our friends sometimes, and receive help from them. Don't be afraid to do that, especially to my men folk, my brothers, my brethren, especially to you guys. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to lean sometimes. Um, or as the songs have been, but don't break. You know, you can bend. We all have times that we bend. Just don't break. You don't have to. You don't even have to break. You know, God has people in your life that love you enough and care about you enough that they got you. Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to keep sharing my journey. So, love y'all. Have a blessed rest of your Sunday. Enjoy. And I pray that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. So, yep, come along with me for the journey. Talk to y'all later. Bye.